Now, the Palin Update with Kevin Scholla presents Liberty and Legacy. Here's Tamara Colbert.
Happy New Year, everyone. I am so excited with the prospect of 2018 and what it will most likely bring. More MAGA, more winning, more Trump unleashed, more calling out the mainstream media and fake news, more Sarah Huckabee Sanders, my communications hero. Boy, is she on my bucket list. I want to meet her. I'd love to take her out to lunch. But what I'm really excited for in 2018 is to see more of America's UN ambassador, Nikki Haley. Is she awesome or what? I watched her UN speech while standing in line with my family at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom, entranced by her fortitude, calm, and sheer grit. Oh, to have been a fly on the wall and watch the reaction by those UN corruptocrats as she lambasted every single one of them. Not only did she express the particulars of what we actually conveyed with the action of publicly stating that we are moving our embassy to Jerusalem, but declaring that Jerusalem is the true capital of Israel. She correctly stated and clearly that the bad actions of the opposition countries is going to come full circle and that we won't forget. She did the equivalent of putting her two fingers to her eyeballs and saying, America is watching each of you scumbags, and we know who voted against us, and we know who stood with us, and there will be consequences. Can you imagine what will happen when, not if, when America cuts off funding to those countries and to the UN? Here is one of my favorite excerpts of her remarks. Quote, I will not let this moment pass without a comment about the UN itself. Over many years, the United Nations has outrageously been at the world's foremost centers of hostility towards Israel. The UN has done more damage to the prospects for Middle East peace than to advance them, and we will not be party to that. The United States no longer stands by when Israel is unfairly attacked in the UN, and the United States will not be lectured to by countries that lack credibility when it comes to treating both Israelis and Palestinians fairly, end quote. Boom! Massive mic drop, Nikki Haley. Well, of course, we all know this started when the UN General Assembly voted on December 18 to condemn President Trump's decision to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel by moving our embassy there. And the General Assembly voted 128-9 against us. So what would happen if we stopped providing American aid to those 128 countries? It's shocking. No, it's obscene when you see how much money these countries receive from us out of our generosity. Afghanistan receives more than $5 billion. North Korea, more than $2.1 billion through the UN. Egypt, more than $1.2 billion. In total, the money we so kindly give to foreign countries is more than $24,485,383,599. Imagine what America could do by pumping that money back into our economy or our education system or even chipping away at the national debt. This money will be so much better spent domestically than overseas to countries who disrespect us on the UN stage and have no respect for our sovereignty. I think it's time to reevaluate all these relationships and all the foreign aid we provide those 128 countries. I read on one blog that a woman wrote, contrary to socialist belief, we don't owe you anything. You are not entitled to the money that Americans have earned, and if you keep acting up, we are going to be forced to take away your allowance, so don't piss us off. Bravo. And then a Muslim diplomat called Miss Nikki Haley a bully. She said, no, America is just standing up because we are tired of being taken for granted. And she's right. We are taken for granted. American taxpayer money totals 22% of the United Nations total annual budget. That means we pay for almost a quarter of their fees, despite the fact there are 193 other countries involved. But the real shocker, 135 of those 193 countries contribute less than 1/10 of 1%. God bless President Trump. God bless Nikki Haley. I can't imagine how the president even functions with the daily barrage being fired at him from all sides, including those he thought were friendlies. This is the type of resolve and leadership that is difficult. Standing up against those who are against you, standing up against the fake news and the media and the Democrat losers inside the Beltway and the Republican losers inside the Beltway and the Never Trump crowd. When no one else stands with you and you are willing to stand up for what you believe in is the right thing to do, that is the John Wayne, Ronald Reagan type of courage America has been so needing for decades. This is fortitude. And right now, we need a reminder of our grit and our toughness that has been the bedrock of our founding. As we launch into 2018, we are just weeks away from the 2018 primary races in a dozen states. Now is the time for us to cleanse the losers and corruptocrats who think more about themselves than their constituents. It's time for us to elect real politicians of the people, willing to stand up with the president and have courage and make the hard decisions because it's the right decision. Yes, it is hard to vote out an incumbent, scary for some people, but now is the time. It's time to clean house, get a new slate of courageous men and women, get them to Capitol Hill willing and ready to do the business of the American people. Happy New Year. You can tweet me at Tamara Colbert, #Mama Grizz Radio. Be safe and blessed. I'm Tamara Colbert for Mama Grizzly Radio.